Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm here with your live watch along as Crystal Palace take on Aston Villa. Make sure you smash the like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help us continue on the road to 10,000 subscribers. I do apologize for being late. I'm trying to get set up. My internet's playing up a little bit. Martin's in the background as well, trying to get his internet sorted. There's a few gremlins in the system at the minute. I'm trying to get the scoreboard set up, but I thought I can't wait any longer to get you guys on the show. So you just have to bear with us a second as we try and get sorted and I get everything set up. So please do get your comments in, thoughts on the game. Loads of people are so superstitious about this game. How are you superstitious? Do you feel like this is an absolute bogey side for Aston Villa? Is there no chance of us winning, or is it time that we put this hoodoo to bed? Palace have got a lot of players out. We'll talk through the starting lineup shortly. So Villa, in my opinion, will never have a better chance to get the result than tonight. And I'm confident. I'll talk through my reasons why, but I'm confident that we can get this result. So get your thoughts in the comments as well. What do you think? Is it, and also what I want to find out from you guys is it more a fans thing, a fan superstition, or is it a players as well? Does it affect the players in terms of this potential bad run that we have against Crystal Palace, or is it more just a fan thing? Because to me, there's players that haven't even been part of this hoodoo that we've got with Crystal Palace. So why would they have any sort of issue with it in terms of being worried about this? Now, we do know the atmosphere can play a part in this. We do know that sometimes Crystal Palace's tactics can play a part in this. We do know that Glasner does have one over on Unai Emery, so that can play a part as well. So I just want to know your thoughts in the comments. Apex says, I think we've got this. If Palace win, then they must have a voodoo doll or something. Andrew says, even if won't be here for the watch on, but tuned in before kick-off. Top man. So I say, sorry I'm late. And yes, we're in the chat as well. Martin should hopefully be joining. Stephen's here as well. Yeah, we'll be up by 2 this time. Sorry, it was just my internet was totally playing up, and I just didn't want to be on and messing it up and not being able to properly get set up again. Good evening to you, Manny. Long time, and I hope you and family had an amazing Christmas and New Year. Be watching. Happy New Year to Martin as well. And I do think that George will hopefully be joining us at halftime as well, so to give his thoughts. Now, we're about 7 minutes from kickoff on my watch. Let me just see if I can get the team lineup emailed through and added onto the screen. Just bear with me. And then we'll talk the Palace lineup as well, because they do have multiple players missing. And as I've said, you know, if Villa do want to win this game, finally win this game, we've got to put this to bed. So I don't think we'll ever have a better chance of winning. Let me get Martin and let me see if he's all up to speed now. Have you reset your router? Have you updated your laptop? Good evening, Martin.
Yeah, I've updated everything. Am I clear?
We can hear you absolutely loud and clear. It's just you're about 5 seconds behind when I'm speaking, but we can make do with it.
Okay, hopefully we'll be all right.
I think that was about 8 seconds. But we'll get there.
Oh, lovely. Great, I'm having a howler.
I'm just uploading the starting lineup for Villa on the screen, so we'll bring that up. And so we've got Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Lindelof, and Luka Dean. We've got Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, and Sancho, Rogers, and Ollie Watkins. So, and we've got a strong bench as well. Bizot, Matson, Torres back in, Bogard, Garcia, Hemmings, Buendia, Marlon, and Gimo Aloba. So great to see Pau Torres back in the squad, and great to see some of the young lads getting a chance as well, and a big opportunity for Jadon Sancho to really make an impact because the Crystal Palace side, and now they have multiple injuries at the moment. Now we know the atmosphere is going to be tough, but they've got obviously the big player out for them is Ismail Assar, who always scores against Aston Villa. But their team is Henderson in goal, JD Canvo, Lacroix, and Gay. So decent back three. Then Mitchell, Hughes, Wharton, and Devaney, who's playing right wing back, which is not his usual position. And they've got Yerin Pino and Brennan Johnson with John Philippe Mateta up front. Now, the starting 11 is pretty good. That's not a bad starting 11 at all for Crystal Palace. I think where they have the problem is the bench. They've got some issues on the bench. Chris Richards has come back in for them. Then they've got Borna Sosa. But apart from that, do not have any other senior players on their bench. So part of me thinks if Villa can stay in this game and be, drawing, even being 1-0 down at half-time isn't an issue. And then the substitutions will play a massive part in this game. Now, with regards to the last game that Crystal Palace had, I did watch their game against Newcastle on Sunday, and they were in the game for a good 60 minutes, but then they just ran out of steam. They didn't have the substitutions that they could bring on, and ultimately kind of ran out of steam, and Newcastle kind of won comfortably in the end. So Villa can do that, and I think we can get the result, and that's what we need. That's what we need. Jimmy, great to have you in the chat. Home attendance doesn't look good. Interesting. Sancho starts, Pau back in the squad. Yes, good to see. And CSS 4-1 Villa. Yeah, they think they're in our heads more than Emery and the team. Yeah, exactly. I do think it's more of a fans thing than a players thing because, Daniel Marlon, I don't know, he might have been with the squad before that, but Sancho wasn't with the squad, so he's not going to really have any impact on what happens to play at Crystal Palace. So I don't think the players will have pay too much attention to it personally. I think it's more of a supporters thing and a social media thing. Martin, are you confident going into the game?
Well, first things first, am I loud, clear? Am I any way, shape, or form okay here?
Yeah, you do. You're better now.
Okay, perfect. Slightly confident going into this game, but it's still this little bit of a fear of it's Crystal Palace.
No, now we've lost you.
And then
we spoke too soon.
In the sense of our form and our ability. Yeah. So
we might have to leave it, Mark. Join us at halftime for your halftime thoughts.
hopefully we can.
Yeah. We'll get you back at halftime, mate. Because we're losing you. Yeah, we need to crowdfund fibre broadband for Martin. Yes, Michelle, up the Villa. So I've got the players. The starting lineup's being announced now on Sky. So I've got Crystal Palace first, Henderson, Cambo, Lacroix, Gahey, Devaney, Wharton, Hughes, and Mitchell, with Johnson and Pino behind John Philippe Mateta. And now the Aston Villa lineup, which we've just gone through before. We've got Emi Martinez in goal. And then our back four of Luca Dean, Victor Lindelof, Ezri Konsa, and Matty Cash. And we know Unai Emery spoke really, really glowingly about Victor Lindelof, and he's had some great performances. Boubacar Kamara, Yuri Tielemans, with McGinn, Rogers, and Sancho. So obviously Sancho has impressed in his last few games. So he's got a tough job on his hands tonight, but can he make that impact and get a goal? And Ollie Watkins up top, can he continue his good goal-scoring form? Dave in Thailand, up and ready. Big game for confidence. Going 3-1 Villa. We owe them. Good evening to you, Dunk. Yeah, I don't think it was Martin's night, to be fair, unfortunately. Nearly 50 of you in the chat. Don't forget, smash a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We've had some amazing support on the watch along so far, and we're very, very close to 6,500 subscribers. I think we're about 30 off at the minute. So please, if you haven't already, smash the like and hit the subscribe button. Help grow the channel. And we're just looking at Morgan Rogers here. Seven goals and six assists this season in all competitions. That's easy for you to say. And if you want to line up with me, please do. I'll tell you when we've kicked off on my screen. But if you're not, if you're ahead of me, please, no spoilers in the chat, because I do want to try and react naturally. And sometimes I do get distracted by the comments in the chat, because I do want to keep interacting with you guys as well. So please, no spoilers, and just wait until I've seen the action on the screen, whether it's a chance, whether it's a goal, or whether it's an incident. If you don't mind, just wait, and then we can react together and comment on it together. So we're off. Crystal Palace kick us off. Long clearance from Henderson that just goes straight out, and Emi Martinez leaves it to go out for a goal kick. Yes, Gary, no black kit. Yeah, definitely feel confident in that. Up the Villa. Great to have you in, Will. So Martinez with his usual short play out from the back. Konsa plays it to Kamara. Kamara now with a bit of time to bring it clear. No one really pressing him right now. Plays it out wide to Cash, who tries to cut inside, but it's blocked by Pino and out for a throw into Aston Villa. Villa in their third kit. Obviously, last time out, I believe, was against West Ham, and they were successful. It's actually a nice kit, isn't it? I quite like it. Lindelof now. Just looking for the pass. Goes to the square pass to Konsa. Konsa now just bringing the ball forward. Plays a long ball, searching for Sancho. Devaney panics. Oh, sorry, Rogers. Turns Devaney. Keeps hold of the ball. Plays to the edge of the box to Kamara. Kamara keeps hold of it. Plays to Tielemans. First time pass out to Luka Dean. Back to Yuri Tielemans again. Tielemans switches the play out to the right-hand side through Konsa, out to Cash. Now it's back to Ezri Konsa. Crystal Palace just shuffled across quite well there and managed to get back into shape quite well. But Villa still keeping possession. Rogers manages to hold off Canvo. Switches the play out to Sancho. Lovely first touch. Just faced up by Mitchell. Tries to shuffle his feet and tries to beat him, but Mitchell does well. Villa can win it back though, but the ball goes out of play for a throw into Crystal Palace. But good for Villa to have a couple of everyone to have a touch on the ball. Good possession. It would have been nice to get a shot away, but Palace not really committing themselves into the challenge. I think they're going to do similar to what they did in the last games, where they'll wait for Villa maybe to make that mistake and try and pounce and go quickly on the break, which is what was so effective in that last game that we played when they beat us 4-1 at Selhurst Park. But if we remember that game, Villa got it back to 1-1 and then had a couple of good chances to take the lead, didn't take them, and then a couple of sloppy bits of play, and Palace just took the game away from us. If we can maintain our professionalism, not make any stupid mistakes, I think we can be good in this game. Kamara just takes it over the halfway line. Just pass out to the right-hand side to Cash, who goes back to Konsa. Just trying to draw Crystal Palace out. Back to Cash again. Cash to Sancho. Sancho back to Matty Cash. Plays a nice little ball inside to Tielemans. Tielemans, long ball, looks for Watkins. Watkins goes back to Luka Dean. Dean plays it into Morgan Rogers, who takes a nice little touch. Goes into the box. Dean has followed the pass, but it's rolled through to Dean Henderson. Morgan Rogers getting in some nice spaces. And I've heard that a couple of Palace players are playing with slight injuries. I think one of them being Adam Wharton. So it'll be interesting to see how he lasts throughout the game. Gay now with the ball. Plays to Lacroix. Lacroix into midfield. Nice little layoff from Brennan Johnson. And Devaney looks for Mateta, but it's going to roll through to Emi Martinez. And he picks it up. And Villa can start another attack. So nothing really to write home about in the first 4 minutes. A couple of decent parts of possession for Villa. No real shots or really dangerous play. Kamara plays to Lindelof now. Lindelof out wide to Luca Dean. The space looks like it's out wide for Villa. Mateta now trying to press Lindelof, but he goes back to Emi Martinez. Martinez just standing on the ball, just pointing where he wants his players to be, or more like wasting a bit of time. And then he just plays it to Ezri Konsa. Konsa now comes forward. Pino presses him, and he goes back to Emi Martinez. Palace just waiting. I'd love to be able to see if there's much movement going on up front. But as it stands at the moment, Martinez is just standing there, waiting for someone to move. He's dragging the ball back into his penalty area and goes to Lindelof, who goes back to Emi Martinez. Palace just waiting. I mean, this is going to be a good game if this happens all match. Now he goes to Ezri Konsa. Ezri Konsa into John McGinn, who holds off Wharton really well. Finds Sancho out on the right-hand side. Sancho, little ball into John McGinn again. McGinn plays to Kamara. Kamara out wide to Luca Dean now. Lovely move from Villa. Clip crossing, but it's straight into the arms of Henderson, who punches it away instead of catching it. Mateta brings it down nicely, and now Brennan Johnson can bring the ball clear. Devaney now out on the right-hand side. So exactly what I said. Trying to break quick, but Villa have got back into position well, and now Palace will just keep possession for a bit. That was a good move from Villa, but again, probably should have ended in a shot, really, rather than trying to put a cross into the box. Pino goes back to Lacroix. He's now looking for passes through the middle, but goes out wide to Cambo. Cambo to Devaney. Devaney gives the ball away to Ollie Watkins. Watkins finds Yuri Tillemans, who keeps hold of the ball. The referee gives a free kick. Bit of a difficult pass there from Watkins because he went to play the ball to Tillemans initially. Then he got distracted by Luca Dean's run and then went back to Tillemans, and he wasn't quite expecting it, but he did well. No problem, Mark. It was great to have you on for a bit. If you do want to try and join us at halftime, please do, mate. Dina. Now Palace putting a little bit of pressure on. Johnson trying to press Lindelof, but he does well. Now Konsa's got a bit of time and space. He goes out wide to Cash. Cash goes up the line to Sancho. He plays a lovely pass, but Cash with a nice quick pass, but didn't quite come off. But Villa pick it back up again. Now Tillemans, ball over the top, looking for Sancho, but Mitchell does well to read it. Villa now trying to win the ball back, and they do really well in midfield. And it goes back to Martinez. So it does look exactly what we're talking about before, where Palace will try and pick up on any loose passes, any interceptions, and try and break quickly. They're not going to commit too many men forward as it stands at the moment. And Villa really need to try and figure out a way to break them down. Lindelof to Konsa. So not much space in the middle. Cash now clips it with his left foot this time. Mitchell makes a mess of the clearance, goes to Sancho, to McGinn, back out wide to Sancho. Sorry, that was Gahey. Sancho trying to beat Gay, but he takes the ball out of play. So at least he's trying to beat his man. Villa somehow get the throw in. Now Watkins cuts it back to McGinn. McGinn to Kamara. Little reverse pass to Sancho, can cross it in. Low cross in, but it's cleared. Only to the feet of McGinn. Puts to the edge of the box to Kamara. To Luca Dean. Luca Dean has the shot. Bounces off Camvo. Only as far as Cash, who plays to Kamara. Kamara out wide to Sancho. Cash on the overlap. Puts the cross in and it bounces off Gay and hits Cash in the face. And it's a goal kick. That's unlucky because it was a good move. And Cash took a bang to the face there with the ball, but Palace looking a little bit last ditch at the back. So it's quite encouraging for Villa. And they had good bodies in the box there. Maybe would have liked to see one more player in the box. There's only really McGinn, Rodgers and Watkins. So it would have been nice to see a couple more bodies in the box. But Henderson is about clear. Apologies, my internet just went off a little bit there. Some gremlins in the system, but we'll still persevere. Long clearance, headed down well by Cash. McGinn picks it up, tries to find Rodgers for the first time pass, but just out of his path, but still good idea. Now Wharton's got the ball, but goes back to Lacroix. Lacroix out wide to Gahey, further out to the left-hand side to Mitchell, inside to Pino, back to Gahey. Into Wharton, back to Gahey again, out wide to Camvo. So it looks like Deven is pushing right up on that right-hand side. McGinn, the furthest player forward at the minute. Now Sancho looking to press. Good pressing from Villa. Now we can try and create something. Unlucky there, but it's a free kick to Villa. Good little bit of play there. Lindelof pounced on the loose pass, played it into Watkins, who played a nice little first-time pass into McGinn and was barged over by Lacroix. Just be nice to get a couple of chances at the minute. The possession is good, but we're just still not really stretching Palace. But I think sometimes they like that game to be stretched, don't they? They like teams to commit bodies forward so they can try and pounce on it. Set piece here. Tielemans goes short to Rodgers, who clips it in to the back post. Headed away by Lacroix. McGinn trying to hold up against Pino. And Palace managed to bring it clear. Cash steps in and gets the throw in. No, it's looking at handball there, but I don't think it was a handball. We'll just see it here. McGinn tries to bring it down. Mitchell's got his hand away from his body, but I don't think anything's going to be given there. Long throw from Cash, headed away by Camvo, headed further away by Hughes, picked up by Tielemans to Luca Dean. Luca Dean ball down the side to Rodgers, who tries to cut it back, but Camvo does well to put it out of play for a throw into Villa. On the left-hand side, deep into Palace half. Luca Dean about to take the throw. Nearly 100 of you in the chat. Please do smash a like. Throwing into by Luca Dean, looking for Morgan Rodgers, but it's cleared by Palace, and Tielemans plays it all the way back to Emi Martinez. So again, Martinez just always baffles me. I know he wants the Villa players to get set up, but that allows the Crystal Palace players to get set up. So it kind of baffles me as to why we do that. Konsa back to Martinez, back to Konsa. Looking for a forward pass, but he'll go back to Emi Martinez. And he'll go back to Ezri Konsa. He's pointing for forward runs, but doesn't seem like there's any. So he goes across to Lindelof, who goes out to Luca Dean. Luca Dean up the line to Rodgers, but it's put out of play by Rodgers. And it's a throw into Crystal Palace. Konsa picks it up, pressured by Jean-Philippe Mateta, who pushes him over. A little bit fortunate to get that one. Just hearing Tottenham are winning at Bournemouth, as Gary says there. Clip pass. Keeping Palace in their own half. But Lacroix can bring it clear. Yeah, Tottenham beating Bournemouth. That's the only goal so far in the Premier League. Just approaching 15 minutes in this game. Adam Wharton out to Will Hughes, back to Lacroix. To Camvo now, just inside the Villa half. Out wide to Devaney. Back to Camvo. And he goes back to Lacroix. It's not too much happening in this game. Both teams really just figuring each other out. Brennan Johnson, bit of a loose pass, but it falls to Lacroix, who comes forward. Villa playing a bit of a lower block at the minute. But Palace not really getting between or behind Villa. They have to go all the way back into their own half to Lacroix, trying to stretch Villa out. Lacroix goes long, looking for a ball over the top of Cash, who heads it away. Mitchell, though, will pick it up, heads it down to Pino, back to Sorry, I lost you there, people. As I say, there's some issues with the internet at the minute, so I will try my best. Long throw from Cash. Left by McGinn, but Palace managed to get it clear. Now Wharton can bring it clear, not really under any pressure at the moment. Wharton again to Mateta. Back to Wharton, and a lovely through ball to Brennan Johnson, who's got clear. Brennan Johnson held up by Lindelof, and it's a great save from Emi Martinez. And that's what they're looking to do. Yeah, he was onside. Cash was playing him on. Good by Lindelof to get back in and maybe just put him off a little bit. And then a great tip over the bar from Emi Martinez. But that's what we've got to watch out for. Really have got to watch out for that. That was dangerous. So if you don't put pressure on Wharton, you can do that with quick passes. Really quick passes. Will Hughes about to take the corner. Clips it in. Headed away by Watkins. Headed further away by Morgan Rodgers. Helped back in by Pino. Headed down by Mateta and booted away by Luca Dean. Can Villa start a break here? Headed down by Watkins to Yuri Tillemans. John McGinn trying to get the wrong side of Camvo, but he does well to go back to Henderson. Just hesitates on it, but plays it to Adam Wharton. The game's just starting to open up a little bit now. Devaney now coming forward down Palace's right-hand side. Plays into Johnson, but he's offside. And Villa can restart. Yeah, if that had been Sarr, it would have been 1-0. Right, I'm going to persevere with this till half time, and then I might need to restart the computer and come back in just because it keeps buffering in and out. So I'm going to try and get this internet sorted. Konza to Lindelof. Villa playing with this controlled away format, but we just need to up the pace a little bit. Palace have just started to turn the screw a little bit on Villa. We need to increase the pace a little bit. Get Kamara and Tielemans on the ball a bit more. Can't just keep playing it across the back all the time. But we know this is what Villa do, so we're not going to panic. Lindelof back to Emi Martinez. Lindelof out to Lucas Dean, back to Lindelof again, to Martinez, who goes long, but Will Hughes can pick that up, heads it down to Devaney, who clears it, who plays it on, but Lindelof cleared it, and then it's helped on by Rodgers. Watkins was looking for the free kick. Referee's not having any of it. Gay into Pino, who's coming deeper for the ball, clips it out wide, looking for the run of Devaney, but it's out harmlessly for a goal kick. Yeah, Palace is high pressing here. Hopefully it creates a bit of space, but we need to get more movement. We need to get on the ball a little bit more, be a bit sharper. So Mateta trying to press Martinez there, but he does well to play to Konzu, who finds Kamara across to Lindelof. Lindelof back to Martinez. Still really heavily pressed, but Villa calm and composed to get it clear. Now Cash has got some space to run into. Plays it into John McGinn. McGinn just drops it off to Boubacar Kamara, who comes over halfway line into Morgan Rodgers. But Rodgers there was just waiting on the ball and gets the ball nicked off him. Now Mateta can bring it clear, but Villa do well to win it back. Morgan Rodgers just got to sharpen up in that position. You can't receive the ball without knowing someone's going to be behind you and nick the ball off you. Got to get your body position right. But it was good playing out from the back. Kamara now clips it over. Watkins heads it on, but Camvo read where he was playing it, and Rodgers couldn't quite get on the end of it. Devaney now drives up the right-hand side. Good play by Morgan Rodgers to win it back. Now Tielemans has the ball. Finds Boubacar Kamara. Villa just up in the pace a little bit. Plays into McGinn. He's pushed over by Hughes, but Kamara comes in. Sancho back to Kamara. Players all crowded around the edge of the box, and Kamara can't quite get through. McGinn almost won that back, but Palace do well. Hughes now trying to bring it clear. Finds Devaney out on their right-hand side, and he goes back to Camvo. Movement just needs to be a bit sharper. Will Hughes now out on the right-hand side. Clips the ball over the top looking for Pino, but headed down by Cash into the arms of Martinez. And he rolls it out to Konza. 1-1 now, Bournemouth. Everton 1, Wolves 0. Chelsea have a red card against them against Fulham. We do need Sancho to do something, and he hasn't really touched the ball for the last 5 or 10 minutes, so we need to get him into the game. Lindelof plays back to Martinez, who finds Ezri Konza, who goes out wide to Cash, who just gives it again, trying to cut back. I really don't understand why we don't go up the line. It's so annoying when you cut him back in those positions. Mitchell now has got the throw-in a dangerous position. Throws it down to Pino, to Hughes, but picked up by Kamara. Now Rodgers didn't quite get the run of the ball, but Camvo gives it away, and Villa now can set it back up with Emi Martinez out to Lindelof. Into the 24th minute, Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. No real chances for Villa. One only real chance for Crystal Palace from a Brennan Johnson shot that was tipped over the bar by Emi Martinez. Other than that, nothing else has really happened in the game at all. Lindelof to Konza to Kamara, inside to Tielemans, plays it on to Sancho. Sancho holds it up and plays it back to Kamara. To Konza, sorry. Now to Kamara. Out to Cash. Cash now clips it over the top, looking for the run of Watkins, headed away by Lacroix. Devaney, under pressure from Rodgers, gets it clear. But Lindelof heads it down nicely to Konza, to Kamara again. Kamara out wide to Cash. Cuts inside on his left foot. Still running with the ball. Finds Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans with a bit of space. Lovely through ball to Watkins. Brings it down. And it's just saved by Henderson. I thought that was going to go into the net. But lovely move from Villa. Palace did have players on the line, though, and it probably would have been saved. But good move. Just probably his first touch just maybe took it a little bit too far away from him. But good nonetheless. Rodgers out wide to Luka Dean. Rodgers now clips it over, looking for the runner Sancho, but Gay takes it away from Henderson, looking for somewhere to play it. Finds Devaney, who does well against Rodgers, and now Will Hughes can bring it clear. Finds Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side. Devaney in the overlap, but it goes to Mateta, now to Devaney. Johnson making that run, but good covering by Ezri Konza, and just steps in and takes the ball. Plays to Yuri Tielemans, who clips it inside to Boubacar Kamara, and Kamara just hits the ball out of play. I think he thought that Rodgers was staying out on the left-hand side. We're just seeing this chance for Villa. Tielemans plays a lovely through ball. Great little peel off from Watkins. He just doesn't quite take that first touch in his stride, but good movement, great movement, and unlucky with the chance. Gahey now has space to bring it forward. He goes out wide to Mitchell. Mitchell now trying to beat Gainer, trying to beat Sancho, plays into Pino. Pino now cross into the box. Johnson has pulled away, but he tries a volley, and that's, the less said about that, the better. It's a very tough chance. He'd being very, very, very harsh on Watkins there. I mean, if Brennan Johnson should have scored his opportunity, that's a tough chance for Watkins. We can't just have a go at a player every time he misses a chance. Really sorry about this buffering. It's really annoying. Long ball from Luka Dean, but it's going to go out of play. Not quite got the fluid style from Villa yet. It's a little bit disjointed at the moment, but we're still very much in the game. Yeah, he doesn't have a good big, but I wouldn't put that as a big chance, Dunk. I don't think that was a big chance. Headed up in the air from Mateta, headed down by Lindelof and away by Luka Dean. Rodgers trying to keep it in, but just doesn't quite do it. Scores on the doors in the other games, still the same. Only Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 1, and Everton 1, Wolves 0. They're the only goals anywhere. Devaney with the throw-in inside the Villa half. And back with Cambo on the halfway line. And back to Lacroix inside the Palace half, across to Mark Gahey. Gahey with a long ball forward, looking for the run of Johnson, but it's going to just go harmlessly out of play again. I do feel like there's still, both teams are still just feeling each other out. There's been, like I say, one chance for Johnson, one chance for Watkins, and that's about it. Definitely, well, a Villa goal would obviously be much better. It feels like it needs something just to ignite the game. But a decent position for Villa to be in. 1-0 win away from home. I'll take that all day. Lindelof now. Not really any movement in front of him. So it goes square to Konza. Villa just shuffling across, waiting for that space to open up. Yeah, a lot of long ball from Palace, Dunk, definitely. Nice little inside ball from Digne to Tielemans, but Rodgers just gives it away there on that left-hand side. Wharton now tries the through ball, but that's going to go out of play again. Rodgers isn't great, is he, at the minute? Keep giving the ball away, but we know what Morgan Rodgers is like. Want him to be, I quite like him maybe to swap with Sancho and maybe swap sides and see how he gets on down that right-hand side for Villa. Lindelof out to Luca Dean. Luca Dean up the line to Rodgers, who plays it back to Luca Dean again, but he goes back to Lindelof. Cash asking for it, but Kamara gets it, and then he goes out wide to Cash. Looks in behind for Sancho, but he puts too much on it, and it's curls into the goalkeeper. And he rolls it out to Camvo. Camvo inside to Johnson, who tries a little flick, but Lindelof read it well and plays to Kamara back to Konza now. Villa have possession again, but not really doing anything with it. Kamara out wide to Cash. Just comes back and goes to Ezri Konza. Yeah, Andy, we are a bit off it. We're just controlling the game, not really committing anything. That's the point now. You can say, we're going to open up in the second half, but could you say that we could be sleepwalking into it and Palace could, put a chance away? Clipped over the top by Rodgers, though. Good run. Ball's out on the left-hand side. Rodgers attacks the box, gets past Deveni. Low cross in, but it's blocked by Camvo again. Luca Dean, though, clips it back into Rodgers. This Camvo's a big lad, isn't he? Back to Yuri Tielemans. Then to Lindelof. Across to Ezri Konza. Inside the Palace half. Cash now. Out to Sancho. Tries a little flick into McGinn, but it's put out of play by Will Hughes, and it's a throw into Aston Villa. Just getting into the 33rd minute. Palace 0, Villa 0. Please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're 100 in the chat. Thank you for your support. I wouldn't say he's looking slow, but it's just he can definitely put a little bit more in. He's not got that burst at the minute that he can do where he drives through. He's kind of maybe playing a slight bit within himself, just waiting for something to open up. Cash with the throw in. Looks long into... He was looking long for Watkins, but it was basically a free header by Mark Gahey. And now Palace can break clear. Deveni now driving over the halfway line into Villa's half. Tielemans getting back to him. And he forces him back to Camvo. And now he plays to Lacroix just on the halfway line. Villa have got everyone behind the ball again. Clipped over by Gahey. Villa claiming offside, but it's going to go out of play anyway. It's not the best of games, is it, people? One thing, we've got players, Marlon on the bench, Maatsen on the bench, maybe inject a little bit of pace into the game. Konza now. Buendia inject a bit of intensity. Long ball from Konza, looking for Rogers, but it's headed away by Devaney. And it's a throw into Aston Villa, just level with a penalty area. Dean's looking for someone to throw to, but he goes back to Yuri Tillemans. Tillemans goes across to Ezri Konza, who stepped up. Clips it over, looking for Rogers, but it's headed away. But down only as far as Kamara. Played in by Dina to Rogers. Back to Tillemans, back to Morgan Rogers now. He's got a bit of space. Plays into McGinn. McGinn, though. Poor pass. Luca Dean to Cash. To Lindelof. Out to Luca Dean. Villa just trying to move Palace around a little bit. McGinn holding it up well. Tries a little reverse pass to Luca Dean, but doesn't quite get power on it. And now Palace can bring it clear. And now the ball's with Adam Wharton, but he steps on the ball and Villa can break. Really nice play. Now Tillemans driving forward to the edge of the box. Just can't quite take it past his man, and it's Cambo does well. I think it's going to be a goal kick. No, it's not a pen dunk. Can't see it being a penalty. Yeah, waiting for the second half. Emery's a genius. He knows what he's doing about the subs and will smash them. Fingers crossed, mate. Thanks for joining. I don't know if he gave... Did he give Will Hughes a bit of a talking to there? Because it wasn't the best challenges. Goal kick from Dean Henderson. Yeah, it must have been booked. Brentford beating Sunderland. Headed up in the air by Kamara. Headed away by Lindelof and Tillemans, but picked up by Will Hughes. Plays it back to JD Cambo, who's probably been the pick of the players on the pitch. He's looked very solid at the back. Brings it forward now. Clips it over. Looking for Mitchell at the back post, but headed down really nicely by Kamara into Martinez's arms, who tries to play it out quickly, but they're telling him just to calm it down and let's start building from the back. Into 37th minute. Konza now. The only thing I would say about this half is I would have liked maybe Villa to start with a bit of intensity to give Palace the run around a little bit, because obviously we know that they can tire. Bournemouth now beating Tottenham 2-1. Dina now with the ball. Devaney trying to press. Mateta pressing. Johnson with a bit of a half press, but finds Kamara now with a bit of space to bring the ball forward. Is this the time when Villa start to exert themselves on the game a little bit? Kamara looks for Cash out wide. He's got a bit of space to operate in. Drives it forward, plays into Sancho. Couldn't he get the wrong side of Mitchell? Mitchell's just pulling him back there, but he does well to hold it up and finds Kamara. Villa just about keeping hold of this ball, but Mateta gets back well, and now he can play it out wide to Devaney. Got to be quicker to get the ball forward against Palace. Ball down the lines. Dini does well to clean it up, and he plays trades passes with Emi Martinez. Rogers now plays it back to Lindelof, and Villa can bring it clear again. Oh, no booking. Yeah, Sancho's been very, very quiet, hasn't he, this half? He's just been kind of marked out of the game. McGinn there with a poor pass. Devaney now into Pino. Pino goes out wide to Mitchell, but he gives it away. He says, honestly, this game is so poor in terms of quality. So poor in terms of quality. Both teams just completely cancelling each other out. Long throw from Cash. Watkins challenging Lacroix. Headed down by Pino. Watkins picks it up again, does well. Tries to bring the ball clear. battling for it in midfield with Tielemans as well. Cambo, though, picks it up. He's strong, isn't he? But he gives the ball away and Sancho blocks it out and it's back into the Palace half. Villa can just push forward a bit, but Lacroix goes back to Henderson. Henderson just standing on the ball a bit, but he manages to find Lacroix, who goes long. Consuelo can bring it down. Just back, keeps it away from Mateta and Hughes. Now Rodgers with some space. Oh, brilliant touch from Watkins. Watkins. Oh, hits the shot with his left foot and it's blocked by Lacroix. And out for a corner. I thought Rodgers had sold him short with the pass there, but he managed to clip it over Cambo, and then he goes to hit it with his left foot, but Lacroix gets in front of him and just puts the block. Beautiful first touch there by Watkins. Gets his head up and he thinks, right, I'm just going to hit this with my left foot. And Lacroix gets in for the block. And it's out for a throw-in, actually. Ollie again holds it up well, heads it down to Luca Dean, back to Rodgers. Rodgers now with the cross, headed away by Lacroix, headed up in the air by Tielemans. Again, Devaney heads it clear and gets it clear for a throw into Aston Villa. Villa now putting the pressure on. Referee being picky there where he wants the throw-in to be taken. Tielemans back to Konza. And Villa back in their own half. It goes back to Emi Martinez. Lindelof to Konza. Long ball by Ezri Konza looking for Morgan Rodgers, who's going to pick this up. Devaney just caught out of position there. Rodgers now trying to face him up, but Devaney gets a foot in, but Rodgers managed to keep it. Little back heel to Digne, flicked into John McGinn. John McGinn doesn't quite get hold of it. Villa's trying to keep it alive in the box. Catch with the shot. Oh, and it took a deflection and goes out for a corner to Aston Villa. Villa claiming handball. Said he's turned his body into the shot. There's so many bodies in the box. McGinn does well to keep it alive. Yeah, what's that? I think his they'll say his hands were by his side. Shot by Cash. And he turns away from the ball, Mitchell. But yeah, he's not going to give it that. Corner to Villa. Not got no players around the keeper. They're looking to make a late run. McGinn steps over the ball. Clipped in from Yuri Tielemans. Tried to be blocked out of the way by Kamara, but now Palace can bring it clear it. Lindelof under pressure from Johnson does really well to turn him and finds Ezri Konsa. Ezri Konsa, though, gets pushed off the ball by Cambo. Wharton now, after the ref said play on, just plays it to Mark Gahey, out wide to Mitchell, pressed by McGinn. Sancho pressing Gahey. I mean, Sancho's been absolutely anonymous, hasn't he, this half? I'd have put him over to the left-hand side and see how he copes against Devaney. Gahey back to Hughes, into Wharton, back to Hughes again. Out to Canva. Into Johnson. And out to Devaney now. Back to Mitchell into the 43rd, into just getting to the end of the 43rd minute. It's 2 minutes to go till the referees, fourth officials, puts his board up, and it's a story of the half, really. A ball over the top from Mark Gahey that goes out for a goal kick. Man City 1-0 up against Brighton. Haaland penalty. Martinez out to Lindelof. to Konza. Yeah, I do wonder why Marlon hasn't really been played down the right-hand side too much. He's always come on in that support striker position or even up front. And, you know, he was sadly starved of the ball against Chelsea in that first half, almost sacrificed for Watkins to come on. And, yeah, he's only had a bit part. Nice play by Rodgers into Kamara. Kamara to Sancho, out wide to Matty Cash. Cash, though, tries to beat Mitch on the inside, then tries to turn him around on the outside, just holding him up. Plays inside to Kamara now, does well. Kamara now attacking the byline, plays into Sancho. Sancho trying to do a bit of ball juggling, plays it out to Cash. So many Palace bodies in the box. Villa just trying to pull them out. Tielemans to Lindelof. Out to Luca Dean. Into Morgan Rodgers, trying to turn Adam Wharton, but Wharton does well. But Lindelof has to go all the way back to Martinez. I don't think there's going to be much stoppage time, if I'm honest. Martinez now just holds the ball. We'll see how much. I think there'll probably be a minute. Yeah. Well, we know what happened in the last game in injury time. Can Villa get a goal at the end of the first half? I don't think so. Long ball. Watkins challenging Lacroix. Down to McGinn. McGinn to Morgan Rodgers. Rodgers now just teases Devaney in from Luca Dean into the box, but Will Hughes gets a clearance. Last 30 seconds of the half. Don't think Villa are going to want to just give the ball away. Tielemans to Kamara, out to Cash. Sancho makes the run in behind, but Cash decides not to go for it and just plays back to Konza, out to Lindelof. To Konza. Konza to Cash. Last 5 seconds. Cash goes long. McGinn now. And that's half time. When Villa were on the attack. Typical. So it's Crystal Palace 0. Aston Villa 0. Not really much to write home about in that half, to be honest. One good chance for Brennan Johnson and a good chance for Ollie Watkins, and that's really about it. The one good thing that Villa have got in their favour is the bench. We've got Buendia, we've got Marlon, we've got Maatsen, who can all come on and create a bit of chaos, a bit of pace, and have an impact. But we really do need to, you know, we'll be in a we'll be happy with that. I think as a coach, Emery will be happy with that. But I do think we can step it up certainly in that second half and put some more into it, because, you know, there's a lot we can do in that second half. There's not more pace we can put into the game. There's more players we can commit forward. There's better, sharper passes we can put in. And just all round, we can raise our game by a good 20 to 30%, in my opinion. So 0-0, half-time. Palace will be fairly happy with that as well. The one thing I would say is we know that they can run out of steam. I saw that on Saturday or Sunday against Newcastle in that game, but they didn't. We didn't really make them have to exert themselves too much. So we really do need to increase the pace in the second half, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the half. We'll read out some comments. Do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Help us continue on the road to 10 subscribers. I do apologize for my dodgy internet today. I'm not sure what the issue is here. We are dropping in and out, but I'm trying right on cue. Right on cue. The internet dropped out. I don't know if it's the weather or what today, but it's not been my friend today, the internet, unfortunately. Lindelof getting a lot of praise in the chat, which is very, very well deserved. Lindelof being decent. Yes, Lindelof has been such a great backup. How do I run a speed test, Andy? Put that in the chat. I'm not as technical. It still says strong signal. Very, very strong signal. So I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if it's StreamYard. Sometimes StreamYard that I run this through into YouTube, sometimes that doesn't work as well as it should do. And so it could be down to that more so than the actual internet, to be honest. Paul, good evening to you, mate, from Cardigan, Wales. What Ollie doing waiting for a written invitation to shoot? I don't know, man. I think that's a bit harsh, if I'm honest. I think both opportunities. I think the first one was a real sharp pass into him. I think that was a tough chance. And then the second one, I think he did a great first touch. And then if you look at it, defenders done well to cover to block the angles and got the block in. You know, sometimes those take a deflection. I think I personally think that's a little bit harsh if I'm being honest. Scores on the doors at half time: Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 1. Goals from Tell after 5 minutes, Evan Nielsen, and then Krupi with goals for Bournemouth. Then we have Brentford 1, Sunderland 0, and Thiago with another goal. I think that's 15 for the season for him. Absolutely brilliant season he's having. Everton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Michael Keane with the goal there. Fulham 0, Chelsea 0. But as we know, Chelsea have had a player sent off, Cucurella. And Man City 1, Brighton 0. Erling Haaland with the goal there from the penalty spot. And then Burnley against Manchester United and Newcastle against Leeds has just kicked off sort of 7 minutes in those two games. So not too many goals going around. More comments. Paul says, I think Buendia and Marlon on from 60 minutes. Buendia will come on and score a screamer, says William. Manny said, Villa really missing Onana. His strength is more than capable of containing Palace's midfield. Villa do have pace, but unless they can find more passes, it might not be good enough. Yeah, I do think we're missing Onana, but I would say I don't think Palace are dominating in that midfield. I don't think they're committing, and they're not playing with that same speed that they usually do. So that's something. But I think if Villa can up their pace in the game by a good 10, 20, 30%, then I think we win this quite comfortably. I don't think he'll be too annoyed with the situation that the game's in right now. And yeah, I think there's levels that Villa can go up. Need Marlon on, a lot of people saying. It feels like a Matty Cash kind of game. A lot of people saying Sancho should come off. I do think that he will keep. I don't think he'll make any changes at half time. Personally, I think he'll keep Sancho on. I think he'll keep McGinn on. And there's a couple of other, McGinn's passing hasn't been brilliant, has it? Rodgers has been on the fringes of the game, but we know what he's like. So he'll come on into that second half. And I said this, Roger, we maybe should move Sancho to the left-hand side and see how he gets on there. Villa 2-0 second half. There was a couple of shouts for penalty, but I don't think so. I personally don't think so. Are these transfer rumours exciting anyone? Maybe Marmouche, but can't see it. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I would really like to see it, but I just don't think it would happen. Palace are a bogey team, so I'm happy with this so far. We can take it up a gear in the second half. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've just said, really. I do think we can take it up a gear. And Paz says Watkins will score twice. Well, we'd love that. Similar pens have been given. Yeah, agreed. I do agree. I do agree with you there. We've just seen the one at the end of the half with Cash hitting the shot and Mitchell just turning his body away from it. I mean, does anyone remember? Was it 2 seasons ago, or was it last season when Luca Dean had a penalty given against him against Crystal Palace, where the ball came in and he turned his body and he had his arm up and they gave a penalty. So, yeah, they've definitely been given. Take McGinn off and stick Daniel Marlon. Yeah, I do think it's certainly out of, Maatson will come on for Luca Dean, and then he'll put Buendia on for McGinn, and he'll put Marlon on for Sancho, really. Or maybe Marlon on for Watkins. That's probably what will happen. And then if we are winning in the game, then I think Bogard comes on, something like that. But I'd quite like to see Marlon and Watkins on together at some point. So maybe he goes for it with 2 up top, because if you want to try and isolate those 3 defenders, at the minute we've got Watkins on his own against those 3, and then we've got McGinn and Rogers trying to support him, but Sancho's really just playing on that right-hand side. So they're coming from too deep to try and support Watkins. If we can put 2 up top, then that occupies those 3 centre-backs a lot more. So we might lose a bit in midfield, but I do think that we'll be able to maybe put more pressure on their defence. So that's what I would personally do, but we'll wait and see. I don't think there'll be any changes at half-time, personally. Guys, make sure you smash the like. I don't know if we've done a like check, but we've got 120 of you in the chat. Thank you so much for your support. I think we're about 30 away from 6,500 subscribers. So we're motoring on to 7K, on the road to 10K. So do please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, if you want to join the channel, click the join button and become an official Villa Park Pod follower. If you want to put any super chats or donate the channel to support, please just click that $ and help support the channel, helps us put on shows like this and do shows across the week. 60 likes. So can we get to 75 likes? That would be amazing if we could. That's the target, and then we'll aim for 100 after that. But I mean, looking at it, there's not many goals across the Premier League, is there? Just, I'm sure the Spurs fans will be going crazy, losing at the minute. Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Paz. Much appreciated. Top man. Honestly, some of the comments that I've been getting have been absolutely amazing. Honestly, it brings so much happiness and makes so much of it worth it when you guys put some nice comments in whether it's on the chat, the live chat, whether it's on the chat after releasing videos, whether it's on social media. Honestly, it just means so much. So I really do appreciate it. Yes, Jam Jack, we do. We have to remember we're playing away from home. Never easy for any team. We've had total control first half. What's not to love up the Villa? Yeah, absolutely. It's just we need to make sure that we take advantage of that and keep pushing on, because you don't want to kind of get into a position like this where you can step it up and take the game away from Crystal Palace. You don't want to mess up that opportunity, because Crystal Palace will probably be saying the same thing. They'll be saying, well, it's 0-0. We're at home. Let's step it up. Villa aren't really doing too much. Let's try and catch them out. So they'll be saying the same thing. So you just want to make sure that you kind of don't let that half go to waste, where you've had control of the game, where you've kind of sussed the other team out. You want to make sure that you take advantage of it. Lionel says, done. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Paul says, joy at halftime. It's fantastic. In games I can't get to TV for. Oh, top man. Appreciated. Same here. I mean, I won't be here for the watch along on Saturday against Tottenham because I'm actually going to the game. So won't be here for that one. But we'll be back for Everton the following week. So tune in for that. Looking forward to going down to Spurs. If any of you are going, I know we've got, nearly 10,000, which is just brilliant. Brilliant in terms of support. So if anyone's going, hopefully I see you there. Hopefully we can make it like a home game. Yeah, exactly. Crystal Palace don't have the subs at the minute. I mean, if we look at their bench, I know I went through it before. Oh, Burnley are beating Manchester United. I bet Ruben Amorim's laughing secretly. Exactly, 10K at Spurs at a single game. Got a feeling my internet's going to drop in a second. Yeah, Man U 1-0 down. I was going to talk about the Crystal Palace bench line, but I'm just trying to load up the screen. Yeah, mate. Well, Luke's brilliant, but he's got nearly 30,000 subscribers. So we've got 6,500. We've got over 100 in the chat. So it's not a bad ratio, mate. Not a bad ratio at all that we've got watching. So, but the more people we get watching our watch-alongs, the better. We want to try and get as many people as we can on joining in on the chat on the watch-alongs, which is brilliant. I know there's more and more Villa ones doing it, which is great, and we're getting clipped up by these reactions channels as well, which is good. So it shows that we are getting eyes and ears on us as well. Manny says, we're watching the second half. Good to see you again, Rich. Take care. Yeah, top man. I might do a little bit after the game just to sort of sum it up. So do jump on after maybe if we're back. So Palace's bench, I was just going to talk it through. So they've got Benitez is the goalkeeper, and then Chris Richards is back as a defender. Sosa is like a midfielder / wing back, I think. Apart from that, they're all young players. George King, Dean Benamar, Joel Drakes, Thomas, Caden, Rodney, Ben Casey, and Chris Uchi. So they have got a really, really young bench. So Villa do have to take advantage of this. They'll never have a better chance to beat Crystal Palace. Never have a better chance. Oh, heaven own goal for Manchester United. Or for Burnley. Yeah, I think Martin's given up. I think he said his laptop had to update, and then I think he was just having issues with his internet. So George said he was going to join, but he must be enjoying a beer and watching the game. He must have thought there's not much to talk about in that first half. So Villa coming out for the second half. No changes. Oh, Bizot is on. Oh, I didn't see that. Interesting. Oh, yes. Wow. Okay. Well, there's a turn up for the Bucks. Is this back injury affecting Emi Martinez? I mean, there's no way that he plays on Saturday now, but I don't think he was going to play anyway against Tottenham. So it gives him now like nearly, 10, 11 days to rest. I must be managing this injury for him then. Well, we're going to have to make sure that we're on our game for this one. Probably not a change that Emery would have wanted to make. He must have been out warming up at half time. Must have been. Palace coming out now. And now's the sub confirmed. Bizot on for Martinez. I mean, I must say, I feel so much more comfortable with Marco Bizot coming on than I do Robin Olsen. Aston McPhee still struggling with that knee. He's actually not a bad second choice goalkeeper. All right, Villa to kick off. Let's get the scoreboard sorted. And then we're off. Early touch for Bizot. Receives the ball back from Tielemans and he goes long straight away. Headed down by Gahey and picked up by Kamara. to Cash and back to Ezri Konsa. Yeah, only 4 outfield changes now. Come on, Villa. We just need the 1 goal. Lindelof now back to Marco Bizart, who clips it, finds John McGinn, who flicks it on. Watkins battling with Devaney, who gets the ball clear, but it's picked up by Lindelof again, and Villa can start an attack. Lindelof to Ezri Konsa. Konsa just slowly bringing the ball forward and goes back to Lindelof. Out to Cash. Cash is battled by Brennan Johnson, but definitely a foul. I mean, the referee took a while to give that, but it was, it's Luca Dean, sorry. It's clearly a foul. My score prediction, Paz, is 1-0 Villa. Tielemans decided not to play to Luca Dean, and made the run down the left-hand side instead. Finds Rodgers, who does now find Luca Dean. He's got loads of space. Takes a touch, clips it into the box. Kamara heads it down, and it's just cleared by Mark Gahey, and then Mitchell can put his foot through it. Konsa holds it up against Mateta, does well, still driving forward. Tries a little ball inside the fullback, but now picked up by Morgan Rodgers. Rodgers now in a lovely little touch, takes it away from Will Hughes, clips it into McGinn. Now Rodgers again, just gets crowded out. Now Palace looking to break, but Konsa does well against Mateta, and Villa can pick it up again. That's a couple of good chances there. Good header down, but so many bodies in the box. McGinn there looking for a free kick, doesn't get anything. Now Johnson's got a bit of space down the right-hand side. Kamara trying to hold him up. Puts the cross in, but it's good play by Kamara, and then Bizart can just drop down on it, looking to start Villa and attack quickly. Tielemans now faced up by Wharton, so he just goes out to the right-hand side to Cash. I'd love Villa to win 6-0 Quadrat, but I don't think that's going to happen, mate. Kamara out to Cash. Good start to the second half by Villa. Sancho goes back to Cash again. You've got to think that Sancho's got 15 minutes or so to show what he can do. Konsa now. I mean, it comes to something when he's the attacking player, and the best crosses or the most attacking crosses has come from the left-hand side. Pau Torres looks like he's getting ready to come on, is he? Oh, no. I think they're just focusing on Martinez. Lacroix out to Camvo. Picked up by Kamara, and he's brought down by Johnson. Villa with a free kick. They've looked at this and thought, right, we do need to step up in this second half. Into the 50th minute. McGinn just standing over this free kick. Is Sancho worse than Danny Jordan? I don't think so. McGinn now clips it in. Headed down by Kamara. Oh, Tielemans there gets on the end of it. I don't think he quite believed that the ball had bounced down to him. Oh, Lindelof headed it down, and then Tielemans, he should score. Maybe he was offside. I think he might have been offside. So this internet is so bad. Headed away by Rodgers. Picked up by Wharton. Wharton trying to find Mateta. But Bizot does well to read that and just puts his left foot through it. Headed down by Lacroix. Can Villa pick up the second ball? They do. Kamara trying to look for... Missed by Canvo. Rodgers crosses. Oh, and in an own goal. Scrambled away. Rodgers with a shot again. And he doesn't get hold of it. And Dean Henderson just drops down onto the ball. But a bit of a comedy of errors there. Canvo off Kamara's hopeful ball. And then it goes through to Rodgers. He crosses it in. And it's almost an own goal. Low crossing. And Lacroix almost puts it into his own net. Aidan, you should be watching it. Hello, son. No, we're not winning. It's 0-0. Come on, Conte bringing it forward. Finds Lindelof, who finds Luca Dean. Luca Dean clips it over the top. Rodgers now faced up by Cam. We're back. I think we're just going to have to cope with this throughout the game, unfortunately. I think it might be StreamYard that's not working very well on my laptop today. Water now. Villa dropped everyone into their defensive third. Hughes comes through. Across to Pino. Has the shot. Oh, Bizot just claims it. But a bit of pressure from Palace there. Again, ball bouncing around. And thankfully, it just drops into Bizot's arms. But good block by Lindelof from Pino. And then it just dropped into Bizot's arms. Thankfully, it's still 0-0. Digne now bringing it over the halfway line. Plays into Watkins. Watkins with a nice little layup. Gets it back. Lacroix does well, though, and puts it out for a throw into Aston Villa. He's claiming it came off Watkins. Oh, it's poor. What happened there? Oh, I don't know. I think he was just saying for Villa to take it again. Lacroix and Watkins having words with each other. I think he's trying to say that he dived. Throw in by Luca Dean. Mateta headed it away, but come off Watkins and out for a goal kick. I thought that was. We're back. We're back. Sorry, my internet just keeps dropping out, but we'll do our best. Now Villa on the break. McGinn. Oh, a poor ball from John McGinn. Man, great position for Villa. I It's a perfect position that we wanted us in, but he messes the pass up to Morgan Rogers. Now Will Hughes can come forward. He's got a bit of space. Lines up the shot, but it's comfortably wide. Both teams now just opening up a little bit. No one wanted to really tackle him. Glasner and his coaches talking to each other there about what they want to do. Yeah, poor ball from McGinn. Poor ball. Bizot now. Same as Martinez in the first half, just waiting. I think Palace have got a little bit more enthusiasm for this game. But will that open up more spaces for Villa? Can players like Buendia or Marlon take advantage in the second half? In this second half, Bizot out to Lindelof. Just waiting. The Palace players. Pino looks like he's waiting, but Lindelof finds Konsa. Konsa now brings it forward. Palace drop back. Konsa looking for someone to play to. He goes to Lindelof. Lindelof out to Luca Dean. Now he's pressed by Devaney. And Devaney gets a block on it and it's out for throw into Aston Villa. Yeah, I do think, Leroy, it's time for subs very soon anyway. Well, Tuchel, the guy next to Tuchel. Nice yawn. Throw in again to Villa. Oh, down to Tielemans, and Tielemans just puts it out of play. It's been a poor game so far, hasn't it, really? Will Hughes helps it on. Looking for Mateta down the right-hand side. He holds off Luca Dean. Now he's got the ball on the right-hand side, away by Konsa. And manages to get it quite far clear, to be honest. That was a brilliant clearance. It's now back into the Palace half. Camvo now with the ball. Plays to Lacroix. Do feel like it's time for changes for Villa. Do need to freshen it up. Camvo into Devaney. And it's off Watkins and out for a throw-in to Palace. Yeah, Pau. Bit more quality out from the back. Pino now. Out to Mark Gahey. Gahey out to Mitchell. Cross comes in. Header, and it's comfortably saved by Bizot. Definitely time for some substitutions. I mean, when was the last time Jadon Sancho touched the ball? Tielemans out to Matty Cash, who's got a bit of space now to drive forward. Now he gets Sancho a touch, but Sancho, poor pass, but managed to be picked up by Kamara. Now he gets it back. Just finds Konsa. Konsa out wide to Luca Dean. Dean into McGinn, who's trying to turn Camvo, but picked up by Luca Dean again. Back to Rogers. Rogers with a quick pass into McGinn. Great touch. Across the box. Oh, you've got to get in front of the defender. Now that was poor from Watkins. He's got to get in front of the defender. Brilliant from Rogers. And again, he turns Camvo. He's getting pulled all over the place. It's got to be a free kick. Referee doesn't give anything. Johnston trying to bring the ball clear. In the end, he opts for a ball down the line, looking for Mateta. And Konsa does well, and he gets the... Does he get the free kick? How is that not a free kick on Rodgers? But brilliant play between Rodgers and McGinn. Ball goes across, and I think it was it Gahey in front? No, Mitchell. You've got to get in front, but that's poor refereeing. It had to be a free kick. Mateta there. Is he looking for a corner? That's a goal kick. Game just starting to open up a bit, but that was the best bit of play from Villa all game. Bees up to Lindelof into the last half an hour. Can Villa get the key goal in this game? Back to Bees up. He's pointing where he wants his players. Bees up again. Palace trying to put him under a little pressure, but he finds Ezri Konsa. Palace don't quite know whether they want to press the goalkeeper or not. Cash into Watkins. Stuck away from by Gahey, out of play. No, throw into Palace. Fulham beating Chelsea. Leeds beating Newcastle. 1-1, Man City and Brighton. Will Hughes now to Gahey. Out to Mitchell. To Gahey again. Clips it into the box. Headed up in the air by Konsa. And away by Lindelof. Brilliant clearance. Camvo again with a poor touch, but he manages to recover. Gets it back to Lacroix. Is there some activity on the Villa bench? I think there is. Sancho has to come off. He's hardly had a touch. Gahey to Wharton. Pressed by Tielemans. Marlon's looking like he's getting ready to come on. Oh, is it 1-1 Newcastle now? It's just that it came up on, 1-1. Fair play. Must have been, was it 2 quick goals there? So 32 and 37. Konsa to Lindelof. Into Tielemans. Tielemans with a bit of space. He hasn't really committed too far forward as a Yuri Tielemans. Loses out to Wharton, but Villa pick it back up again. Good play from Rodgers there. Back to Lindelof. Out to Cash. Cash now coming forward. Finds Sancho. Sancho again tries that little 1-2 pass, but he's battling with Mitchell. But Gahey holds him off well. And Mitchell brings the ball forward. Konsa hits it out of play. It's got to be the substitutes now, is it? Yeah, Buendia to come on for Sancho. Just the one sub. It's almost like Sancho's just happy to be playing, isn't he? Rather than actually making an impact. Like, I want to see him actually make an impact. He's not doing anything. Mitchell now to Mateta, who's holding off Cash. Takes the ball down the line. Gets the cross in. Hughes to Pino. Pino with a shot. Brilliant save. Deveni tries to get it across. Blocked by Digne. Back to Wharton with a shot. Again blocked. Bloody hell, this is getting close. Throw into Crystal Palace. Good blocks from Villa there, but it's a bit too close for comfort, this. Good save from Beezer, but he played it into Devaney's path, and brilliant block from Luca Dean. Great block from Luca Dean there. There's no penalty. Gahey now. So McGinn's on this right-hand side. I think. Buendia now. Trying to take it away from Hughes. Tielemans trying to battle with Will Hughes as well, but the referee lets the game go on. Gahey now driving through midfield. Game's getting stretched now. Out wide to Johnson. Johnson trying to beat Luca Dean. Gets the cross in. Bizot gets up. Is it going to go force its way in? No. Brilliant tackle. Villa messing around with the ball in the box. Oh, no. Rogers gives it to Johnson. Johnson goes down, and it's a foul, and it's a dive, is it? Villa are treading a very fine line right now. Johnson's going to get a booking. Terrible from Rogers. But yeah, Johnson looking for a penalty. He just threw himself to the ground. (2-0) Brentford against Sunderland. How did that not go in there on the line? Great play from Kamara to get a foot in there ahead of Gahey. This is going to be interesting this last 25 minutes. Yellow card for Brennan Johnson now. Tielemans, poor pass to Kamara, manages to get away with it though. We started this second half well, but we've really dropped off. Sluggish at the moment. Out to the left-hand side to Luca Dean. Into Buendia. Back to Tielemans. To Lindelof. To Tielemans again. Villa just back to walking pace. Clips it over the top looking for Luca Dean, but Cambo again almost misses it, but manages to get the last ditch. Mateta trying to put pressure on Lindelof. Lindelof does well though. Ball goes back to Bizot. Bizot goes out wide to Cash, but he's pressed by Pino. Mitchell trying to hold off John McGinn, battling with him. He does well to hold him off, but the ref gives a free kick for that one. This is getting frustrating now for Villa. Can see where this game's going. They're making substitutions. No, Wharton's going to take this free kick. Goes short to Mitchell. Clips it over the top. It's a waste of a free kick. Absolutely waste. Nearly 150 of you in the chat. Please do hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Marching on to 6,500 on the road to 10K. Villa 0-0 against Crystal Palace. It's a bit of a scrap at the minute. But can we get the win that we need? It's not going to be pretty, but we need the goal. Unai Emery asking for some more out of his players. He's asking some people to warm up now. Devaney heads it away, but Tielemans heads it down to Luca Dean. Luca Dean looking for Rogers. Watkins picks it up. but doesn't get anywhere with it. Wharton now to Hughes. Buendia trying to press, goes back to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper out to Lacroix, who plays a bizarre pass. Kamara picks it up, but again, Kamara, I don't quite know what he's trying to do there, forcing the pass. Wharton now, little ball round the corner. Konsa gets it clear, looking for Matty Cash. Cash goes all the way back to Bizot. Bizot now finds Lindelof. Lindelof to Konsa. Palace trying to put a bit of to Digne, sorry. Putting pressure on Devaney, putting pressure on, but Digne does well. Now Rodgers can bring the ball clear, finds Kamara. Kamara driving through midfield, back to Rodgers. Rodgers getting a bit of speed up, keeps carrying the ball, hits the shot, and it's batted down by Henderson, and he does well. I thought that was the same as West Ham, but this is where the space will hopefully start to open up for Villa, and about time we started taking some shots. Let's get 100 likes, please. That'd be brilliant. Mitchell goes back to Gahey. Yeah, I think we need... I would put Marlon and Watkins up top. I'd be tempted to take McGinn off. Well, there's 2 subs coming on it. We're getting ready. Looks like it's Marlon. Play for a throw-in. Are the subs coming on now? Matson and Marlon. McGinn coming off for Marlon. And Matson and Digne for Matson. So bit of pace. Come on, let's get this goal. Come on, Villa. Let's turn the screw. Wolves have got a goal. Wolves have got the equaliser against Everton. Brentford are 3-0 up against Sunderland. Absolutely flying at the minute, Brentford. Devaney with a throw put out of play by Matson into the 74th minute. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. Come on, Villa. Ball back to Wharton. To Gahey. Out to Mitchell. Into Pino. Back out to Mitchell again. To Gahey. Gahey finds Will Hughes, got a bit of space. Pressed now by Tielemans, clips it over the top, but headed away by Konsa down to Buendia. Plays to Boubacar Kamara, who finds Cash, who tries to return the pass to Kamara, but it's out of play. And Palace take the throw-in. Gahey back to Lacroix. Hughes into Johnson, but he's brought down by Tielemans. To Wharton. So Villa have used 4 subs. Obviously, they made 1 at half time, so they do have 1 more substitution window. But the players that we thought they would bring on have been now used. Buendia, Marlon, and Matson. So only really Torres, Bogard, and then you're into the youngsters. Long ball from Palace, looking for Mitchell. And he's offside. Just need that one chance, boys. Ladies and gents, we need that one chance. Emery just giving his instructions. Lindelof out to Matson. Matson's pressed by Johnson. He goes back to Lindelof. Back to Bizot. Long ball. Headed up in the air by Lacroix. And again, headed away by Gahey. Down to Mitchell. Mitchell gets a free kick off Buendia. That's silly. Lacroix. Out to Canva. To Wharton. Back to Canva again. It's been a very poor quality, low quality game, hasn't it? Gay into Hughes, helped on. Mateta away by Matson. Headed down by Watkins, but Hughes does well against Buendia. Could Buendia been a bit stronger there? Mitchell now, driving through midfield. Picked up by Wharton. Referee says play on. Canvo now. To Wharton. Out the wide to Devaney. Devaney, left-footed cross, headed down by Lindelof. Tillemans tries to play a first-time pass, gets blocked. It's on the edge of the box now. Wharton plays to Mitchell. Out wide to Pino. Reverse pass into Mitchell. Cross comes in and it's blocked by Marlon out for a corner. Bit of pressure here. Fulham 1, Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1, Leeds 2. Palace with the corner, clipped in, headed away, and then further clear by Emi Buendia to the halfway line and Mitchell. And long clip kick clear out by Henderson, headed up in the air by Lindelof. Tillemans down to Matson. Matson to Rogers, I think. We're now focusing on Johnson though. Gahey to Pino. Pino back to Hughes. To Wharton. To Gahey. Palace actually look like the stronger team at the minute. Gahey. Reverse pass to Johnson. Johnson crosses. Oh, just in front of Mateta. Kept in and cleared by Cash out for a throw-in. I think Mateta would have been offside, to be honest. Corner again. Clipped in more to the back post this time. It's gone out of play. This game has been very, very poor quality. Very poor quality, I have to say. Bournemouth 2, Tottenham 2. It's a very tough watch. Lindelof. We just need one goal, though, people. One goal, that's it. Back to Biza. Not every game is going to be a classic. Lindelof back to Biza. I just wish we'd have put a little bit more pace into this game. That's the real kicker for me. Long ball from Cash. Looking for Buendia. Brought down Love. Worked really well from Emi Buendia. Finds Kamara. Kamara to Tillemans. Back into Buendia on the edge of the box. Still got it. Hits the shot. Oh, it's gone over. That was good play. Buendia just tried to bend it in with his left foot. Maybe could have slid it into Rogers, to be fair, but you can't blame him for shooting. I think Emery's saying that he should have played it. Should have played it down the side. Telling Bogard to play the ball quickly. Header from Tielemans into Watkins, heads it down. Buendia trying to pounce on it. Rogers gets on the end of it. Can he keep it in play? I don't think so. Into the 81st minute. Bogard coming on for Kamara. Bit of energy in midfield. Emery really trying to get something out of his players right now. Last 10 minutes. Got a throw in the Palace half. Cash trying to inject a bit of pace into it. Tries to throw it long, but Gahey picks it up. Will Hughes helps it on. Poor ball from Pino into Mitchell, and Cash blocks it. It goes out for a throw in deep into Crystal Palace half. Can we keep them in here and take advantage of this? Emery sees the chance for us to get a goal here. Mitchell into Mateta. Just boots it up in the air. Bogard. Bit of head tennis at the minute. Mateta picks it up. Holds off Bogard. Holds off Cash, but Cash picks it up. Plays it into Emi Buendia. He's trying to beat Wharton just really well there and gets the free kick. And Palace kick the ball away. Mitchell gets the yellow card. Yeah, it is, Gary. It's absolutely Sunday League stuff at the minute. It is such low quality game. Such a bad game. We can get out of here with a win. I will be absolutely buzzing. Type 8 Mitchell with the yellow card. Come on, Villa. We haven't even got that many people forward at the minute. Marlon's out on the right-hand side. He gets the ball. Faced up by Mitchell. Tries to put a cross in, but it's never going to beat him. You've got to try and beat the man. Cash lining up for a long throw, which tells you everything about the game here. Everything about the quality or lack of this game. That Cash is limbering up for a long throw. And he doesn't take it long. He goes short to Buendia, who miscontrols it, but it finds its way to Cash. Cash with his left foot crosses it in, headed down. Oh, it's in the post. Oh. Was that Watkins or Lindelof with the header? Cash is such a good crosser with his left foot. Gets the cross in. Watkins with the header, and it's off the post. That was the big chance. Oh, great header. Oh, so unlucky. No, it was Watkins. Great header. Cross comes in from Matson. Back post. Scrambled away for another corner to Villa. Is this the time? Oh yeah, he must have saved it. He must have saved it because it. Oh no, they cleared it afterwards, didn't they? I thought he might have got a touch on it. Come on, Villa. Come on, McPhee. Earn your wages. Create something out of this. Get a set piece off the training ground. Come on. Cash this time to take it. Matson comes out of the box. Clipped in. Headed on. Another corner to Villa. Is it off Mateta? Yes. Late pressure from Villa. 86th minute. This would be an amazing time to get a goal. Come on. Again, Matson looking for a short one, but it's clipped in again. Punched away by Henson. Oh. What a waste of time by Matson. Why are you trying to hit a shot from there? You've got so much time to bring the ball down. What a waste. Ball goes through to Marco Bizat. Contenad bringing the ball forward. Can Villa get a late winner? Lindelof now. Back to Konza. Konza with a long ball looking for Rodgers. Brings it down. Oh, can't quite take it in his path, but he manages to pick it back up again. Drops it inside to Buendia. Buendia facing up Camvo. He's not going to get round him. Such a stupid decision by Buendia. Honestly. He's so annoyed, Emery, because he can see the decisions, the poor decision making. Like, how are you, Emi Buendia, who's 5'5", 5'6", going to take it around a 6'4" defender who's built like a brick shithouse? Come on, think about it. Devaney goes inside to Will Hughes, finds Pino, who looks over the top. Ball into the air by Matson, who then heads it clear. Headed down by Wharton to Devaney. Drops it inside to Johnson, who goes back to Wharton again. Is it time for Palace to have a bit of pressure? Clipped into the back post, headed up in the air. And Mateta, and then it's easily claimed by Bizat. Definitely overloading that back post. I think that might have been Bogard getting in and doing well there. Into the last 2 minutes plus stoppage time. I don't think there'll be too much stoppage time there. Bogard almost getting caught on the ball. Manages to shuffle it back to Lindelof. Conson out to Cash. Cash into Bogard. Just looking for some space. Plays it into Yuri Tillemans, who goes back to Ezri Konsa. Just that passing hasn't quite been as sharp as it could have been. Matson into Rodgers. Rodgers now trying to drive forward. Finds Buendia, who drops it off to Bogard. Back into Buendia again. Buendia finds Cash on the right-hand side. Cash with the low cross to Rodgers. Rodgers with the shot. Oh, he's claiming handball. Claiming a corner. That was a good move from Villa, but just, again, that final shot. I don't know if it did it take a touch off someone? Yeah, clear touch. Definitely should have been a corner. They've made a sub. Sosa has come on for Devaney. Yeah, we just tried. That's it, Gary. We've been trying to be a little bit too clever today, and a little bit too late. You know, like we've had a bit of a flurry of chances in the last 10 minutes, but really this should have happened if we were going to sort of set it up for the first half to go into the second. We could have done this for the whole of the second half. You can't leave it to the last 10 minutes. Matson tips it over the top, but Lacroix does well to head it down, and Mitchell now can bring the ball forward. Gahey into Wharton. Let's see what the fourth official says. Probably 2 or 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes stoppage time. Lacroix back to Henderson. goes long. Headed down by Cash. Picked up in midfield. We've just dropped off in midfield a little bit as well. Those second balls are not winning as much, but Palace just giving the ball away, and Konsa can go back to Bizot, not messing about with it, just boots it long. Watkins gets a flick onto Rodgers, who plays out wide to Maatsen. Maatsen helps it on up the line to Rodgers. Rodgers tries to step inside Cambo looking for a free kick, but again, he's not going to get that. Referees he's been very inconsistent today. Marlon's hardly had a touch, has he? Gahey looking for a long ball. Johnson holding off Maatsen, but tries to nutmeg him, and Maatsen does well, and he gets a free kick. Wow, Everton have had 2 players sent off. Keane and Grealish. Yeah, Rodgers hasn't been the best today. I don't think you can say anyone's had a good game, to be honest. Lindelof has been good. Probably about it. Rodgers cuts inside, finds Watkins. Watkins! Oh, it's blocked by Gahey. Is that a corner to Villa? They've got some blocks in, haven't they? Palace managed to get some blocks in. Last 30 seconds. It's the last chance. We've got to get a good delivery in. Can't see it. Clipped into the box. Nah, straight through. Such a poor quality game. Well, that's it. Oh, Emery and Glasner getting the handshakes in early. Yeah. Palace 0, Aston Villa 0. Emery not happy with Morgan Rodgers, not happy with Buendia. He's not happy at all. Wanted more intensity. Not happy with the referee. Not happy with the referee at all, but is that more frustration that Villa just didn't do enough to win that game? I know we had a bit of a late flurry of chances, hit the post from a Watkins header. Rodgers had a shot that he probably should have done better with, should have had a corner from it, but we just didn't do enough to win the game. We didn't put enough pace into it. It didn't put enough intensity into it, but we came away with a clean sheet, came away with a point. Could that be a big point at the end of the season? You know, Aston Villa have not done very well against Crystal Palace in the past. I know players probably don't pay too much attention to that, but it's a difficult place to go. Will we be saying that's a decent point at the end of the season? I don't know. But for me, bit of a missed opportunity. But when you factor in draw tonight away from home against Palace, a win against Forest, a defeat against Arsenal, win against Chelsea, you know, we've got to keep picking up points. Got to keep picking up points. It's an intense period for the players, and to come out with a point against Crystal Palace away from home, I don't think is a bad result. My point is there could have been more intensity to that performance. There could have been more drive. There could have been more risk taken. we just didn't really want to take that risk tonight, and that was what was disappointing to me. And they had so many players out, as Rich says there, so many players out that we had to take advantage of it. They only made one substitute today, and that shows you everything. That tells you everything you need to know. Shows you everything we need to know. But we take the point. 0-0, clean sheet. Beezer had to come on at half time as well. He did well in the second half, made some good saves. And we take it into the next game. We've got Tottenham in the FA Cup on Saturday, a bit of a break from the league, and then we've got Everton at home next week. So let's just take it on the chin. Yes, it's a bit of a missed opportunity, but when you looked at social media all day today, it was, Palace haven't won in 5, upset Villa, they're going to win. We know they're going to win. It's an easy win for Palace and all that sort of stuff. They haven't won. We've got the point. We've got the draw. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. So let's just take it. Let's just move on. 0-0. Not a bad result, but in the context of their team, in the context of the opportunity that we had, it is a little bit of a disappointment. Like I say, I will be back. I'll do a reaction, instant reaction, and then I'll be back with match preview for Tottenham. I won't be doing a watch along for Tottenham because I'm going to the game myself, but we'll be back with Lions Raw after that. Fans Forum next week as well. We've got a full week off from football, no midweek game next week. So Fans Forum will be back on Tuesday, and then all the build up to the Everton game. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. I'll also do some transfer talk shows as well. If we get any rumours coming through, I do enjoy those. I know most of the players we're not going to get, but I do enjoy doing those shows just to put a bit of speculation in there, have a look at potential players that Villa are linked to. So stick with the channel. And thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 7,000 subscribers, on the road to 10,000. Thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, win, lose, or draw, we'll follow the Villa.